Hello everyone, I'm Pedro Hidalgo, Senior Industry Consultant specialized in industry leading solutions like S3D, Smart Instrumentation, Electrical, PNID, Smart Materials, and some of our construction tools. I have a background in piping design, and I have more than 20 years of experience in information management and automation for the oil and gas and power industry in EPCs. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, this is our agenda for today's webinar. We are excited to announce the release of Smart 3D version 14. We will spend the next few minutes showing you some of the key new features. You can see our agenda here. I will be covering the main focus of release, which includes more features aimed at the modernization of the Smart 3D user interface. This is something that we have been building on through our past several releases, as you know, from version 13 to version 14, and we have been informally calling this Smart 3DX. We won't be able to cover every item today, but we will go over areas including our common features, as well as the piping, structural, and electrical product areas. After that, I will go over features for interoperability with legacy applications, as well as our design and engineering tools, including the project as built. Then I will share information about additional resources, and I will help you to learn more about this new release. And finally, we will wrap up with a questions and answer session. Back to you, Amelie.
We'll now proceed to the first poll question. Are you already using Smart 3DX? Please answer, and please do not forget to click on Submit to save your answer. We'll allow 10 more seconds so everyone can vote. The poll is now closed, and here are the answers. Back to you, Pedro.
Thank you very much, Amelie. Okay, first of all, have a look into the latest S3D life cycle policy. We are providing hotfix support for version 2019 to the end of 2025, and for version 30.1 until the beginning of 2026. I would like to bring your attention in version 14, and because of this, I wanted to take a few moments to explain our new delivery schedule for Smart 3D. Smart 3D will be a long release version with frequent updates. As you can see here, we are working in a quarterly cadence. The goal of these updates is to bring innovation and new features, performance upgrades, fixes, and security updates more quickly, in smaller increments with less risk and less disrupted, especially in an industry like ours that value stability. No more than once a year, we would do a significant update, which might require an upgrade or a database consolidation. Back to you, Amelie.
We'll now launch the second poll question. Do you think that frequent updates will allow you to upgrade sooner and quicker? Please do not forget to click on Submit to save your answer. We'll allow 10 more seconds so everyone can vote. The poll is now closed, and here are the answers. Back to you, Pedro.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's dive right into Smart 3DX. Here we have listed our features per discipline that are contained in our 3DX 14 release. As you can see, we have a lot of new functionalities. Many of them have been refurbished and improved. Others are directly new. We have now completed our definition of fit projects, and we started on detailed design for plant. You can see that we have started also bringing in smart interrupt commands, as well as some of our project as-built features into our modernized Smart 3D client. Please remember that this is a work in progress, so you'll see this list of functionality rapidly expanding. What's new? We have the complete list of Smart 3DX 14 functionality in fluid topics in our online help. Please don't forget to review this document. There's a lot of information in it. Okay, let's have a look into some of the features that have been added to the new user interface. In common functions, I have highlighted a few common commands that will help you to fine-tune your workspace filters. Also, you will be able to use surface styles and surface style rules for easily identifying items. We have also added a paste array function, rectangular and polar, and we have added handles to easily modify the equipment shapes. In manage and apply filters, you can see that define filters by object type is now available in 3DX. In define filters from form, click on the object property, and on the left-hand side of the form, from here you can see the two tabs marked object type and property. We have added logical functions to fine-tune your objects and properties. Query to build the filter. Compound filters have also been added. Now you can combine multiple filters to fit your design needs by building a compound filter. It has the same logical function as the properties from the previous slide. Apply and manage surface styles. From the list, drop-down has all styles in the model or style used in the workspace. You can select your styles from here, or you can select a style from the graphics using the eyedrop, and you can also manage your styles using this icon here. You will also be able to see the preview of the selected style. Applying surface style rules is easier than ever. Using the integrated search, you can quickly find the rules you need. Drag and drop to select and reorder your rules. Okay, from the applies rules, you will be able to manage, okay, searching the styles. We can, from here, editing and modifying or reviewing the styles. You can also see here the preview. We can search again to apply the rules that we want to apply to the workspace. We can select all of them in a row. We can reorder them and apply them to see the results directly in the canvas. Okay, we have also added our paste array command. This command allows you to paste rectangular and polar arrays. We have also introduced an enhancement for shape modification, adding handles for easier and more precise adjustments. You can see here that I select the handle and I can use the on canvas dimensions to modify the height in this case pretty easily. Now I'm going to copy the shape, selecting a base point. And now I'm going to paste a rectangular array. Okay. So here I can define the rows and the offset of the rows. 2 feet and 6 inches apart. We can also define the columns and the distance between columns. We can also paste polar arrays. Okay, in version 14, we are also expanding the piping commands, and we have also added hanger and support commands in this version. Piping commands are much more easily accessible right now. You can see all commands in the same form, and all the operations can be done while routing. Insert and modify pipe split has been added. Okay. We have also added the pipe feature break and the copy port properties command. You can pick an existing port to populate port properties, easily copy port properties to additional ports, and this is especially useful for instrument and piping specialties design. Regarding hangers and supports, we can now do the placement by structure, by point, by reference in a single command. Everything is grouped in a single command. Multiple support can be placed at once using the placement by structure. Multiple support by points are added to the same command user interface. You can selectively apply a rule or browse from catalog while pressing multiple supports. You have now the ability to view the ports and toggle them while placing support components. You have now the same user interface to convert multiple standard support to design supports and vice versa. Okay, this is a very powerful feature. You can see here an example of 40 design supports changed to a standard support all at once. You cannot do this in classic environment. You would have to delete all 40 of them and replace them one by one. Based on configuration and structure attached to, it goes through and places the support by rule. If required, you can then modify them all at the same time or go one by one. This is a really powerful feature. New in space management commands, you can now associate volume to objects. We have been upgrading all commands related to space management. In version 14, we have expanded these capabilities, and let's have a look into one example. In this case, I'm going to place a volume associated to that equipment. So I'm going to attach it in the place that I need it. I'm going to adapt the position of it where it's required. I'm going to associated to the equipment. I accept the command. I select the equipment and I'm going to rotate it in order for you to see that it's effectively associated. I have selected several structural commands that provide productivity enhancements within your structural design needs. We are going to talk about interior framing member, multiple braces, and place piles. The place framing members command lets you quickly insert framing members by count or by spacing. Each framing member is an individual member that can be modified if needs to be. This is an example of placing members and the different possibilities. I'm going to perform a clip on the screen. I'm going to provide you an offset for clarity purposes. Now I'm going to invoke the command framing members. And we are going to associate the framing members to two supporting beams. You can place them by count or by spacing. You can see the new features of this environment, like the dimensioning in Canvas. You can finish and repeat without exiting the command and going on, placing more members in the next space. Regarding the place bracing members command, it allows you to place multiple braces within your selected bay areas. This command does place individual members for the braces. I'm going to invoke the command. I'm going to select the system. Now I'm going to select the cross sections for the braces. And now I'm going to select the bay areas that define the bracing. You can see that I can interactively adapt the command, select and unselect bay areas without exiting the command. I can define chevron or cross sections. I can invert the chevrons if required. And I can finish the command. It's like this. If you don't exit the command, you can do any modification that you need. The place piles command allows you to place piles by count or by spacing, the same as in the previous examples. They are individual members that can be modified individually if required. Smart 3DX electrical. We have had a lot of electrical functionality within Smart 3DX. Let's have a look into different electrical commands and let's watch a video of our cabling workflow in Smart 3DX. Insert cable tray component. We have now added this capability in the new user interface. You will notice that all routing commands have the same look and feel to help reduce cognitive load for the users. We have streamlined Smart 3DS to create rack commands for all routing commands. Quickly and easily create your runs. In this case, conduit runs. Again, the same layout pattern as our other routing commands. If we combine multiple commands in a single interface, it simplifies the process of adding or modifying elements. In fact, the command reacts to the object selected. If you liked our previous quick pipe command, we have added this functionality to all the routing commands. Now you can quickly select the proposed route for any route discipline, and ultimately making the life easier for the engineers. On top of cable auto route that came in previous versions, the cable routing productivity has increased using existing information in the model as a reference. In this case, an existing cable path. We are going to see an example of this in this video. In fact, we can see here all the connectivity in this network. We can see that that conduit has no continuity. We are going to use the connect railways command to connect the conduit with the tray. Now it's connected. You can see here using the magnify command. We are going to review if everything is connected. Now you can see that we have a full connected network. We are now going to choose that equipment to get the terminating cables. We are going to select them. We are going to use the name set feature to save them for later use. Now we are going to select that cable because we are going to auto route that cable. Okay, we have that route. Okay, probably that route is not the best one, it's a long one. You can see now that we have selected the other cable, and in this case we are going to use a manual approach. In this case I get a better option. Now I select both cables and I'm going to see the actual length of them. You can see that one of them is much longer than the other. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the benefit of the copy cable path in order to improve that routing. Okay. Now selecting both cables, you will see that now the length makes sense. Okay, this is a quite powerful feature. Okay, regarding interoperability and integration, we have enriched this area a lot. In fact, one of the strengths of version 14 is this one, is the interoperability and integration. And if you have been following our interoperability features from past releases, you have seen our workflows to bring legacy data into S3D to be used as the base for a digital twin or for brownfield engineering or other workflows. We can use existing 3D models assigned by various, designed by various tools like PDS, PDMS, E3D, as well as native Smart 3D models. This legacy design data can be easily translated by Intergraph Smart Interop Publisher into an Smart files, and the resulting Smart files which are used for design review in Smart Review or attached as external reference 3D to Smart 3D models can also be used to generate Smart Interop format SIOs in S3D models. Smart Interop objects are lighter weight database objects that fit for the purpose to represent real assets for operations and maintenance. SIOs are in continuous evolution, and this is a version, and in this version, this is not an exception. There are times when the data coming in from a legacy model is incomplete. In the new Smart 3D Model interface, we are enabling features to enrich and modify smart interop objects. Here you see the ability to assign proper parents to these objects. You also have the ability to modify the smart interop object type or add an object type. We are now providing the new workflows. You can now demolish or undemolish these objects and place or remove openings on interop slabs. In the integration area, we are adding to this user interface the ability to select the active project and or the WBS. Please have in account that version 14 is the first S3D version that is enabled to interact with the digital backbone. You see more and more features added on this area in the upcoming upgrades. Let's watch now an example on how to add and remove an opening in an SIO slab. Okay, I'm going to select a slab on this building. This is an interop slab. You can see that up there. And now I'm going to place an opening. You can see how the tools react to the different objects. If the object is not capable of doing that action, it's not going to be available for you. Now I'm going to insert a shape on the slab using the on-canvas capability of this interface. I'm using the magnifier to set up the origin, and now I'm going to place the origin of the shape. That's for the X axis, and for the Y axis, I get here the point. Now, using the on-canvas dimensions, I'm going to enter here 1,500 millimeters, and here 500 millimeters for the height. Perfect. Now I accept the changes. And I place the opening. Okay. We can also use for the same purpose the same tool to remove the opening if it's not required. So this enables us the capability, for instance, to move an object in an existing design, for instance, a pipe, delete the current opening in the slab and create a new one in the imported slab. Handing over to you, Amélie.
We'll now proceed to the last poll question. Which of these new capabilities introduced in Smart 3D version 14 is most important to you? Unification of routing methods, new electrical design capabilities, enrichment of smart interop object, or other? Please do not forget to click on Submit to save your answer. We'll allow 10 more seconds so everyone can vote. The poll question is now closed, and here are the answers. Back to you, Pedro.
Thank you, Amélie. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the additional resources for this version. First of all, please don't forget Smart Community to access the documentation, open cases, fill ideas, and download resources. Please don't forget it. Please also check our online documentation. Here's the link. There's a lot of good information here, along with a link to our Hexagon University. Hexagon University is an online resource for training materials. You can see here we have dozens of courses related to Smart 3D. And now we can go into the questions and answers part.
Thank you so much, Pedro. We'll now proceed to the Q&A section of today's webinar. Please make sure to use the question box on the right-hand side of your screen to type in your question. The first question that we have, what will happen to the automation toolkit?
Okay, that's a good question, Amelie. There are some functionalities of the automation toolkit that has been added to the new user interface. Although the automation toolkit is still available in the classic interface for version 14, but it looks that the automation toolkit will be disappearing in favor of the new user interface.
Thank you so much, Pedro. Second question, will Smart 3D version 14 increase my productivity?
Absolutely. You can see that everything has been designed with this in mind. You can see that the commands have mainly the same look and feel. You can see that how the commands react to the object selected. If it's not available for you, it won't work. You can see that you can go closer to the area of work. You don't need to do extra movements of the mouse to go up and down, and no, we are avoiding that in this interface. I think that we save a lot of mouse clicks in this environment. So the answer to you is yes. And also you can see how the auto routes and all of this stuff improve the productivity.
Thank you so much, Pedro. When will Smart 3D version 14 be available for upgrade?
Okay, that's an easy question. We have released recently the upgrade 1 for this version. So as you can see, we are releasing different upgrades in the quarterly cadence that we announce.
Perfect. I will now hand over to Sean, our EPC VP at Hexagon, who will cover the questions in the chat. So please do not hesitate to put your questions in the question chat. Back to you, Sean.
Thanks, Amelia. Yeah, we've had a number of questions flooding in now towards the end, so I'm not sure if we'll get through all of them, but we'll take a note and we'll respond back individually. The first one, probably back to you, Pedro, is what's the impact on Smart 3D 14 updates on ongoing projects? So I guess what's the impact of using the frequent updates? Okay, as it has been designed, and as you can see in the slide that I have shared with you, as we don't need to upgrade or to change database or to do anything, there's no impact. In fact, you can select which individuals can update in your team. For instance, if there's a new functionality in the electrical area that you want to be distributed on your team, you don't need to deploy that upgrade to all your team, just to the individuals that are interested on that upgrade. So speaking on impacts, no impacts unless there's not a major refurbished. That means that you need to upgrade or you need to change database, but is not going to be the case for the majority of them. Okay, thanks, Pedro. Next question. So Smart 3DX has cool features. However, do we have two XE, the Smart 3D and Smart 3D Classic and Smart 3DX version 14 updates similar to we have with 13.1? The answer is yes. The gap is significantly closed. in terms of capability. So whether you still need to have both, you probably do. However, we still provide additional Smart 3DX licenses at no extra cost, up to a certain percentage of production Smart 3D licenses to allow you to get used to and test the new interface.
Yes, I would like to add also that some of the features I think that definitely can be used on production. So I would have a look on what we offer exclusively on the new user interface.
Okay, thank you. Next question, are there any plans to show cables physically in the model?
To show, sorry?
To see the physical cables in the model. So when you route the cables.
Yes, I have shown that there's a special setup in the screen to show the cables in the model. Yes, it's possible. In fact, there was a video showing the cables.
Great. And do we have details of new features which are not available with classical Smart 3D? I guess that would be in the README.
Yeah, not from the top of my head. I don't have I don't remember that part, but we can double check.
Okay. We demonstrated placing multiple pipe supports on a pipe rack. Will that work with sloping lines?
With?
Sloping lines.
Sleeping lines. I don't know what is that. Sorry, sleeping lines.
That's when
I probably will need further detail on that question.
Okay. Are there any changes happening to project management, database maintenance, interference checks, to-do lists, synchronization of models, replication setup, which a Smart 3D administrator used to perform? I guess there's no change in the administration capabilities.
No,
right?
Okay. There has been some updates on that area. I know that there are going to be more updates on that area. But at the moment, these are not majors. And I think that when we have major changes on this, they will be announced properly. But not at the moment. There have been only some minor changes on that.
Okay, thank you. Is the new version 64-bit based?
Yes. That's an easy one. The answer is yes.
Okay. What is the CloudWorks?
Only to finish this, the 64 bits thing, even the drawings also are 64 bits. Okay. Go ahead with the next question, Son.
Sure. So in SPIOP, you demonstrated modifying a slab. Will that work for piping objects?
Yes. Yes, that was present in previous versions. I have demonstrated only what is new in this version. For previous versions, there were capabilities in terms of rotating, moving, and deleting SIO objects on pipes. There are also capabilities to reconnect supports, SIO supports to piping if they are not connected. There's a lot of things. I recommend you to have a look into the what's new document that I was referring to in the presentation, because there are a lot of new features. Remember also the demolish and undemolish features. These are very important. This is not deleting at all, because if you delete an object in the there's an absolute deletion in the database. So we have also enabled the demolish and undemolish features to avoid deletion. So as I told you, SIOs is a work in progress, and a lot of new things are coming in this area.
Okay, thank you. What is the CloudWorks compatibility? CloudWorks will work fine with version 14. We can confirm or use a compatibility matrix to check version of CloudWorks required, but it's all compatible.
Yeah, I recommend you to double check the compatibility matrix for this. You will see also some new things coming in the next months on this, but nowadays it's compatible. Remember that the constraints regarding the LGES files that we have already been informing you guys, but if you have any doubt, contact your sales representative on that.
Okay, and I'll pick the last question. There's a few others. We'll come back in the chat to the rest, but I'll take this as the last one. Can you get rid of the pop-up menus and place them outside the graphics area?
You mean the message that you are getting when you are finishing a command or that? Yes, you can. Now in this version, it's possible in the options menu to turn this message off.
Thank you so much, Pedro. So this answered the last question of today's webinar. We still have quite a few unanswered questions, but I'm afraid that today's time slot has come to an end. Please know that all the questions asked during this session will be addressed by email. Finally, I would like now to thank Pedro's time today and thank you all for attending. We wish you a great rest of the day, this webinar is now concluded. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.